using me as a temporary substitute for his beloved Blanky, which wasn't looking in good shape at all. No, Monu, Moll is coming home with us. She's your new little sister. No, don't want. Monu, she said as a mama lifted him up so he could sit next to her. Things will be just the same, but better. You now have a little sister to play with. It was then I looked at my Amma's face, seeking reassurance. It was so radiantly happy, and anything she told you, you would want to believe. For this is the kind of face she had, calm and peaceful. But they should have paid attention to his little words. The upheaval that was supposed to mark my arrival, and the subject of much speculation and gossip by the man plotting our lives, was delayed by some inexplicable Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. The fact was that it was some 3 years later that the full effects of my birth came into force. God gave me a good deal with my parents. My Achan was handsome and my Amma was really very beautiful. She had extraordinary green eyes that shone when she laughed and long delicate fingers which she hid her laughter behind. Achan came from a wealthy family. He had 16 cows more than Amma. In fact, his family had 16 more cows than all the villagers put together. But I never got to see the cows or any of Achan's family, as I was told they lived far away. Amma and her mother came from the same village, but had more of a middle-class background. They had a buffalo that slept in the kitchen with them, and who seemed to enjoy the bedtime stories more than Amma did. This I know because Amma said his snores reverberated through the house, and many times were mistaken for the tremors of an impending earthquake. Amma didn't have an Achan because he died when she was little, but I don't know how it happened because whenever I asked about him, she became very sad. I can't tell you either the exact circumstances surrounding my parents' marriage because whenever I asked, it was always hastily explained in one simple sentence. Your Achan came to see me, fell in love, and so it was arranged that I marry him. That's how they did things in Kerala. The man and his family would go and see the lady, who would have to go to the kitchen and make some tea and serve it in the best cup, along with some savouries, and then he would look at her as she handed the cup to him. The lady would glance at the man fleetingly. If she liked him, she would smile coyly, and sometimes he would respond by touching her fingertips while she gave him the tea. This meant that he really loved her. The rest of the family would sit observing the interaction to see how well it had gone. They were also observing other things, like if she was well-mannered, but then, I think, of course she's going to be well-mannered. It's only 5 minutes while she's serving him. It's not that difficult. They would also take into account family background and history. There must be no scandal with any of the extended family members, like divorces or separation. Other things were also important, like how much money the family has, and if the lady can cook well, and finally, their astrological charts must match. My Amama told me that the latter wasn't a huge problem, as there was a woman in the village called Lakshmi Amai, who could doctor unsuitable charts. Lakshmi Amai could tweak Uranus or Pluto so they sat in the right house and matched perfectly with the proposed suitor, but she did that for a hefty fee. If the lady was dark, rake thin, and had buck teeth, then Lakshmi Amai couldn't do much about that, and the man's family would ask for an extortionately high dowry to take her away. If, however, the family background checked out all right, the lady was pretty, well-mannered, not belligerent in any way, and could cook, then sometimes they would waive the dowry altogether. It was very rare, but this is what I think happened to my Amma. She was all those things and could cook.